Hey guys! Long time no see. I'm very sorry that I haven't been super active on my channel lately. The month of July was pretty slow for me. It was just pretty busy with my day job and sorting everything out because I am moving to England in September. I'm going back to London to get my master's degree. I'm going to be studying digital journalism at Goldsmiths University in South London, and I'm very excited to go back. It's been my dream since I left the first time, sort of sorting everything out for that move. I mean, the summer months are usually pretty boring because of festivals, so everything's been kind of slow, and I had like a really big, exciting project that I did in July. I shot my first cover shoot for an actual magazine that I read and I bought when I was younger. And it was a really big deal, but because it was a really big deal, I was sort of anxious about bringing you with me. Right now, while I'm filming this, the cover has not been announced yet, so I don't want to tell you guys who it is or what it's for because I don't want to ruin the surprise. But when it does happen, I'm probably going to make a whole video and tell you guys about the day and show you some outtakes and do all that, because I thought today it would be fun to sort of go over my camera equipment with you guys. My main camera body is a Nikon D600. I'll show you some of my lenses. Right now I'm filming with my 50mm 1.4 Nikon lens, which is my baby, but the focus is a bit off, so we need to get it calibrated. I don't trust myself to do it. I've had that lens since I was 17 or 18 years old, so it's been with me a long time, and the fact that it only just started being on the fritz is pretty impressive, I would think. But it's not focusing anymore, so I can only really use it in very controlled environments, and most of the time when I do have to use it, I have to have it on a tripod and I have to focus on live mode, which is not fun, and it's not something you can really do for concert photography. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to get down to business. So I'm going to start out with my vlog camera, which I bought literally because Holly told me I needed to get one. Sony OX5100 with 16 to 50, 3.5 to 5.6 lens. The thing that I love about this, and I didn't realize when I bought it, is that it is actually a mirrorless camera. That means that I can get prime lenses for this camera, which means that I could, if I wanted to, shoot concerts with it, which might be interesting because it is so tiny, which means that I could bring it to places I'm not supposed to bring it, or just have a second option. So I could honestly get most of my concert photography I shoot with a 35mm lens because I like to have wide, but this could be fun to have an 85 prime on it and then have a more zoomed in lens to get nice portrait shots. I love this camera so far. I've never really used Sony before I got this. But it's incredible. I love that it has a little flip-up screen because it makes vlogging really easy. So this is my newest baby. This is my 35mm. It's a Sigma art lens, which I have seen recently on the internet that people have been having issues with the focus and having to calibrate it. This lens is so beautiful. The photos I've created with this are some of my favorite photos I've ever taken, just because it's so sharp, and so the glass is so nice. And honestly, for what it looks like when it's, the focus is great, it's the best lens I've ever used in my whole life. And I think that it's worth having to calibrate it every so often if necessary. I've had it since March. I haven't had to do anything with it yet, knock on wood. But I love it. He's my boy. I talk about these like they're my children. They are. I just have I have so much camera equipment that means the world to me. My parents got this for me for my 25th birthday, and I legitimately cried when they gave it to me because I've been shooting with a crop sensor 35 1.8 Nikon lens for the longest time, and I was having vignetted corners, and it wasn't sharp enough because the glass wasn't very big. The photos just weren't as HD as I want them to look because the glass was so small, and I wasn't getting as much from my lens as I wanted it to be giving me. And now that I have this, I can shoot concerts how I want to shoot concerts, and I can see things how I want to see things, and it's incredible, and it's just a great feeling as a photographer. This is my Mamiya 645. It is a medium format camera, but rather than shooting square, it does shoot portrait or landscape just because of the way that it's built. This one has this has the viewfinder on top, which makes things be able to focus, because usually you just look down into the mirror, which makes everything backwards, which is really confusing sometimes. I mean, I've worked with these before, so I'm sort of used to it, and 9 times out of 10 when I'm shooting, I don't shoot with the viewfinder on. It is nice to have as an option, but it also makes the camera weigh about 30 more pounds. So that's really frustrating for when I'm shooting. So I usually just take this off and it doesn't really weigh anything anymore. And then when I see everything, it is just the wrong way round. It's not upside down, it's backwards. This has an 80mm 2.8 lens on it right now. Have a 55 2.8 lens for it. I got these on this website called Keh. It's KEH.com. They do used cameras. It was a bargain. I can't remember how much I got it for, but I bought it when I was at university. I think in all it was under $500 for the 2 lenses and the camera. It was a steal. Like, I love this thing so much. It's so fun to shoot with. Speaking of film cameras, this is my 35mm SLR camera. It is a Nikon N2000. So my original N2000 was my dad's from high school. But when I was at university my first time in Philadelphia, I dropped my camera and the mirror broke. The lens is still my dad's. I've had this for the whole time I've ever had a camera. This brand of camera has gotten me through everything. It's what I learned on. It's what anytime I go out, I bring this camera with me just because it's lighter, it feels more robust, and I'm not so nervous of like dropping it. And I just feel like it feels so much more organic shooting film when you're out with friends. But this is my 4th one. Every single time I always get a new one of these. They're like $50 on the internet most of the time. It's semi-automatic, which means that it winds itself, but it doesn't autofocus. And I personally still to this day mainly manual focus anyway. I sort of start off autofocusing and then from there do it myself just because it's less stressful for me, because if it's out of focus then it's my fault rather than the camera's fault. But yeah, so this is my first, my like OG child. And then recently my parents got me this Polaroid camera for my birthday or for Hanukkah or something. It was Hanukkah or my birthday a couple years ago. It's amazing. I love it. It's so much fun shooting with this. And it's a construction model, which means that I can like hit it against walls and it'll survive. I'm a big klutz, obviously, since I've been through 4 of these. This guy's been fine so far. I've shot some pretty nice pictures with this. So I have a lot of cameras. Bear with me. So my last camera that I have with me in this apartment is my Fuji Instax Mini 90. Absolutely love doing this thing. I've experimented with it at concerts, doing portraits, just taking photos of landscapes, doing everything. I am still learning the ins and outs of this camera because there are so many options to it, but I love it more than anything. The last thing that I want to show you guys, because I do have 2 crop sensor lenses, which I don't really use that much anymore unless it's completely necessary. I have a fisheye lens, which I use if I shoot EDM shows, but that hasn't been that often. So my only other full frame lens that I have is a Nikon 28mm 2.8, which is actually for a film camera. I mainly use this for portrait. That was all my equipment. I hope you enjoyed this. I don't really know like what you guys want to know about me or what you want to see. It seems like you've enjoyed the vlogs from the comments that I've gotten, but like if you guys really could like comment below and let me know what you're interested in. I'd really like to know like what sort of one-to-one like talking videos you'd like, as well as what adventures you'd like to go on with me. Once I'm in London, I'm sure I'll be doing a lot more things with new friends and seeing who I can collaborate with and all of that, because I'm really excited about sort of working with more people. I've been doing more portraits recently and I'm really loving doing that and getting to be a bit more creative. So I'm hoping to get to do portraits with not only musicians but other artists and models and people. And if you want to shoot with me and you're in London, let me know because I'd love to practice. Thanks for watching. I love talking about my cameras, so I've enjoyed this video a lot, so I hope you guys did too. Please give this a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed already, and leave a comment below. Let's chat. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!